Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say, and deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we can throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs. For making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes, as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Good afternoon, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Welcome to a great afternoon edition of the Patriots Lab. We are rolling live Facebook, YouTube, and X. I want to thank everybody. Excuse me. I got with me my brother from another mother that I had the pleasure of becoming acquainted with from the TikTok Nation. Hey, we got Parchman in the building. Good afternoon, Parchman. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. How's it going, Patriot?
Good, good, good. Let me see. Make sure we are up and going. We should be up and running. Did we make sure? Remember, keep all your comments respectful. Like, share. Definitely subscribe. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. I'm having some technical difficulties. The weather's still not the greatest over here. I'm just glad I got internet service. So we're going to see where we can get this working right. Okay, let me see. How's my audio? Is my audio
Sounds
in?
good to me.
Okay, hold on. I still don't have what I need. Y'all got to bear with me. All right, let's see if that'll work a little bit better. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to see. Okay, I think I got camera action now.
Yep,
I
you do.
think. Okay, have some technical difficulties. Hello, Maria. How are you? We are great here in the lab, just trying to get all of this stuff situated. But like I said, I haven't been up here for a minute because there's a lot of things that's been going on, not just around the world, but here in the country. And first and foremost, I want to send prayers out to the victims and the families that have been affected in North Carolina, and also in Florida, in Tennessee, and in Georgia. But no one more than I want to pray for than the victims here in a town next to me, Irwin, Tennessee. Also, Asheville, North Carolina. Um, I'm going to be showing a couple of videos because a lot of people aren't aware of what's going on this close to home. So I thought it would do me justice to come up and bring what's going on to everybody down here in East Tennessee. If I can get the news that I want to get, I'll be bringing up the first video. Let me see here. Let's see what if I can get it to go. Hold on. Y'all got to bear with me. All right. Like I said, things are still shaky here, but we're going to get it rolling. I just got to make sure I don't touch too many buttons at the same time. So we'll go ahead and get it. And it'll give you an idea of what people are dealing with here in Tennessee.
Get out of the way. Big win. Oh, God. Big win. Damn. There went the 107 bridge.
That's about 15 minutes from my house.
Wow.
Get out of the way.
And that is one of 3 bridges that connect to the town of Irwin
Oh, God.
in Tennessee, where I live. So we can see the destruction that it caused. The whole bridge.
Get out of the way.
And you know, it's sad, you know, what they're having to deal with. But you know what I love about these people down here, they're a resilient people. They're a resilient people. And this is what they're dealing with right now here locally, and this is what they're doing to start the cleanup. If I can get this rolling for you guys.
Roadways have fallen victim to Helene's onslaught, but some have managed to stay up and running. News Channel 11's Jeff Keeling reports on a Washington County bridge that managed to hold up through the severe weather and flooding.
Bridges out up and down the Nolechucky Valley left thousands isolated starting Friday night.
Right now, we know nothing. We know we're landlocked because any bridge for us to get out is impassable right now.
Those that weren't destroyed, like Washington County's Jackson Bridge, county crews couldn't reach from the south side, but residents could.
The community got together and decided that we're going to clear the bridge because we didn't see any activity real early.
Being cut off created risks for many residents.
I'm a diabetic, so I'm low on pen needle. That's the biggest reason, to be honest with you. I'm even out. I've got like a half a box left, which is about a week's worth.
Plenty of reason to get personal equipment onto the south end of Jackson Bridge Road.
We've been here all morning pushing mud, cutting trees, and moving things out.
Underway from the north.
The county was on the other side, so we're
That was at 10:30 a.m. Saturday. 3 hours later, the bridge was clear along with routes to it on both sides of the river. The community effort didn't escape Washington County Mayor Joe Grandy's notice.
I just want to say how impressed everyone has been with the support from the community, trying to help the people that were stranded on the other side of the Nolechucky rivers.
Pedestrian traffic from the cutoff south side, including this reporter, began early afternoon Saturday along with limited high-priority vehicle traffic. In South Washington County, Jeff Keeling, News Channel 11.
So we really we got to remember that, you know, there were some people that were able to survive this without getting catastrophic damage done, and we wish them prayers also on their recovery. But what I want to show you is what a lot of people weren't able to get away from, and this is a lot of what a lot of people are dealing with right now. If I can get this one to come up, bear with me. I'll bring it up.
Come here, Luke.
And that's what a lot of people are dealing with. That would be the aftermath. And that is the Nolichucky River. That is the river that is by my house that did so much damage. Looks like Niagara Falls. But it just gives you an idea of force in which the water came rushing down. And you'll see a lot more different angles, a lot more different footages from different areas. This is just one area. You see the Black Hawk helicopter trying to rescue some stranded people over there. Some areas that's got a little bit of running water, not too much affected, but you can see it's still enough to just have a nice constant flow to it. And then you have somebody looking outside their home, outside their window. Out of the water, out of the country, water. Hello, Jen. We're just looking at some footage of some areas in North Carolina and Tennessee that have been affected. That's our fun.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people. I'll just take one button now. But it can go on for a while. It really can. And the last video I'm going to show is just show how the people are coming together to try to get through this. And this is today.
Continuing in Greene County after several parts of our region were flooded. Many saw damage to their homes. Most of Greene County without water. News Channel 11 Marler joins us now from Greenville with Mayor Cal Doty. Now, Casey,
That's
how are
about
recovery
15
efforts
minutes for
going
me.
in that part of our region?
Very busy right now. Thank you very much. We are at the Greenville Municipal Airport. You can see behind me dozens of volunteers, hundreds of pallets of water here at the airport. The line extends out the airport gate almost 2 miles onto Highway 11E. Let's bring in Greenville Mayor Cal Doty, who has been monitoring the situation certainly for the last 4 days, has been out here through much of the afternoon. Mayor Doty, first of all, thanks for taking time for us. And talk about what you see here, a community coming together in a time of need.
It's incredible. We've got about 40 volunteers that are helping with the distribution. We've had about 20 truckloads of water come in, so we're going to be able to get it out to the county. So it is great to see folks that are willing to give back, and it makes your heart feel good.
Describe what the families are getting as they come through the line.
Well, each car gets one case of water, and then each person in the car gets one case of water. So if there's 4 people in the car, they can take 5 cases with them, and we figure that will do them until at least Wednesday, when they can come back and pick up more.
From a leadership standpoint, where do we move forward? What's the next phase? We're starting to get water completely cut off through Greenville and beyond. We're getting families the water they need. Where do we go from here?
Well, we're working to get the water restored down on the river. The pump house was destroyed, and we're thinking somewhere between 4 and 7 days we'll be able to get the water restarted. Keeping our fingers crossed. There's still a lot of uncertainty, but that'll be the next thing that we need to do.
And your message to the people of Greenville and beyond into Greene County?
We're a community. Let's work together. We're trying to do all that we can for our people in our community. So just understand there's going to be some shortages. There's going to be some difficult times, but we will get through it. We're fortunate to live in a wonderful county.
Mayor Doty, thank you very much for all you're doing as we fight through this crisis. Want to make mention that's members of the Greenville High School football team back there volunteering their time, open 3 to 5. Talked to Scott Neiswanger earlier. We just saw a semi come through. They're trying to get 80,000 cases of water every 4 days here. He also told me there's actually airplanes, private airplanes from other parts of the country flying in supplies, landing, dropping the supplies off, and heading home to the other parts of the country. That kind of community, both in the Tri-Cities and beyond. Reporting live at Greenville Municipal Airport, Casey Marler, News Channel 11.
Yeah, you know what? The same thing is happening here in Elizabethton. I'm at the Parks and Rec Department where, as you can see, National Guard trucks are pulling in to help get supplies to those communities that have been cut off by the main part of the county. There is so much water here, food, hygiene products, clothes, and so much more. And this morning, officials held a press conference here today, and this is their first one that they've held since the flood. Now, several areas of the county, like Roan Mountain, Pogie, Elk Mills, and the Valley Forge and Hampton areas have been significantly impacted. And it's going to be a long time before any sort of normalcy returns.
Carter County schools are currently closed this week. We will reassess and regroup as some of our schools have been at a complete loss. So we are currently still trying to find where most of our kids are and where the parents are. We don't have roadways to connect these communities.
Now, this is video of Hampton High School from earlier this afternoon. As you can see, that entire football field is flooded and the windows of the school are boarded up. Now, if you live in one of those areas that has been impacted and you can't get out, we know communication is a problem. We've experienced that. The mayor talked about that earlier today. Authorities are having issues. But if you absolutely need supplies, I want to let you know that the National Guard is bringing in supplies. Those trucks are here. They were there at the airport earlier when those Blackhawks were loading up supplies to drop off to those areas. So again, if you are in a remote area that needs help, supplies is on its way to you. But I'm going to get back to things here at the distribution center now. If you do want to donate, this is the place to come. Again, this is the Elizabethton Parks and Recs Department. So if you want to bring items here to the Carter County community, this is where you need to be. But for now, live in Elizabethton, Ansley Daniel.
We have to really pray for that community and the people affected, not only in that community, but the surrounding communities, and me being one of them. But I want to take you directly. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Kathy. I'm going to take you to the high school that's directly in the center of Irwin, where the 3 bridges have collapsed, and just give you an idea of what the inside community is doing to hold each other up and to help one another.
All right, welcome back. Once again, this morning we are live here at Unicoi County High School, where they have literally turned this school into a shelter for people in need, people coming here for supplies, people coming here for water, for pillows and blankets, the things that they need. And then also we see a place over here where it says, "Can I pray with you?" And they're offering a chance to just sit down and talk and maybe pray together about what they have gone through over the last couple of days. We're again with Amanda Delp, and Amanda, who has spent her entire life here in this area. We were talking about and this is what we hear too, these are our friends and our neighbors and the businesses that we loved and the families that we cared for. And I know the last couple of days, I don't think very many people have gotten any sleep over here this weekend trying to care for those in need.
You're so correct on that. When everything hit on Friday, I don't know that any of us even tried to go to bed on Friday night. We were working around the clock trying to scramble and get a plan together. For our office, we were planning on our Big Apple Festival weekend. So of course we made that cancellation immediately, and then trying to work with vendors and those that are coming in to notify them that the festival's been canceled. We are right now working to shift gears and transform our office from Apple Festival Central into a location that our businesses and our industries can utilize. We've got some industries that were down in the industrial park that are going to come in and utilize our building and our office to meet with their employees and give them a plan on how to move forward.
And of course, as the chamber director, you continue those duties as well, looking out for those businesses, as well as having those personal relationships with everybody in this community.
You're exactly right. I've been in this position for 24 years and I've lived here my whole life. So this is my home. This is my family. They're not just business acquaintances. They're friends, they're family, they're neighbors. They're people with and people that we love, and them and seeing their devastation just hurts. It just hurts our soul so much.
And one of the things we know, Amanda, from the Apple Festival is it is such a tradition, and you always talk about every year how your vendors look forward to it. It's like a reunion. It's like a family. And you were telling me that these vendors, their heart is breaking, and they're still wanting to say, "Can I come and just help? Is there a place for me?"
Yes, it was so touching. Anytime you make a decision, you're always going to have a little negativity in that decision. And we feared canceling the festival, that maybe people that were around here that didn't really see the devastation might be upset with the cancellation. And that is not true. No one has even questioned the cancellation. And the requests that we've got and the comments that we've gotten from vendors have just been overwhelming. We had one food vendor that contacted us and said they have taken off work for next weekend. They have ordered their food. It is here, ready to be here for their food truck for the weekend. So they would like to come set up, feed our community for free. They're just the outpouring, and they're 3-4 hours away, and they're willing to drive here, feed our first responders in our community. So we're even feeling the love from our Apple Festival vendors as far away as Mississippi and Alabama.
Goes to show what a special community we have here.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
Well, we've been talking about how everybody wants to help. We're going to go ahead and go through a list with you. There are some things that are needed. And remember, the needs are going to be ongoing. We want to give you a specific list. Here are some things that they really need now. Things like flashlights and batteries, deodorant, rubbing alcohol. They need children's Tylenol, children's ibuprofen, things that are obviously not out of date, ready to go, boxed up. They need things like wet wipes and gas cans, gift cards for fuel, cleaning supplies. There are many ways that you can assist your neighbors in need. They do have a new donation drop site that is at Evergreen Free Will Baptist Church. That is happening right now until 3 o'clock today. You can drop off some items there. They also have new pickup sites from 9 until 4 o'clock today. That's at Southside Free Will Baptist Church and Temple Hill Elementary School. All of this information is on our website. There's also information on our website about, of course, all of our other communities that are in need right now. We recognize that this is all over our area, but there's lots of ways that you can step up and help to make a difference. Coming up here in just a little bit, we're going to talk to their director of schools about how the Sewell family is coming together to help the community.
Wow.
And in case you're just tuning in, I want to thank Jen for stopping in. I want to thank everybody for stopping in. Go ahead and share this. And if you hadn't had an opportunity to understand and really see what these people are going through, I'm just going to give you something brief. And this is just a brief montage to give you just a little idea of what these people are dealing with.
It is basically cut off from the rest of the country, largely without power, without cell service, and they're in desperate need for help after it was destroyed by Helene's devastating winds and flash flooding. Several roads washed away or blocked off completely by mudslides, and those crews are working around the clock to repair cell towers and electricity to the area. That storm killing at least 130 people across the Southeast, including North Carolina, and dumping, get this number, dumping 40 trillion gallons of rain. Hard to wrap your mind around. So many of those families uprooted, their entire lives shattered. News Nation's Mills Hayes joins us live from Swannanoa, North Carolina. That's just outside of Asheville. Mills, you've been out there for a few days now. What are you seeing and what are people sharing with you on the ground?
Hey, Marky. Well, the destruction here is really just widespread. And Swannanoa, 10 miles outside of Asheville, like you said, about 5,000 people live here. So it is a smaller community, but the whole of the community really is destroyed. You can see behind me there, looks like it's a junkyard, but that used to be a parking lot and where homes were. But also take a look where I'm at right now. This is a sinkhole, obviously about 5 to 6 feet deep. This is something that we're seeing pretty much all across Western North Carolina because those massive amounts of flood water came rushing through here. This is actually where the road would have been. It's cut off now. You can actually see underneath it. And this is really all over the place here. I spoke with some people who live in this area and also in Black Mountain, which is a little bit down the road, about 8 minutes away from here. And they tell me that it is truly devastating. And to say that really is an understatement for them because this is a community that many of them have lived in their entire lives. I met 72-year-old Robert Haney when he came to check out how bad his son's business had been destroyed in Swannanoa. He's lived here his whole life and says that he could have never expected this kind of widespread damage. Hurricanes aren't supposed to hit mountain communities in North Carolina, he says. And he says that he can't even recognize the community that he's lived in his whole life.
It's heartbreaking. There's no words that can describe what you see and what you feel. I got family just across from us here that their home is gone. They're gone. He's living in his truck and his wife is with her sister.
And water and food are hard to come by in this area. Thankfully, the Haney family tells me that they had friends from Charlotte come in and bring them food and water.
Wow.
Okay. Miss Angie, yes, I am safe. Thank you very much. Thank you. I see you, Jamie Rose. Get the homework done with the kids. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and this is close to home, so it directly affects me, especially. being just a few short miles away from ground zero. They can definitely use your prayers and anything that you might hear about that might be coming that way. If you can spare it, send it. How are you? What's up, Jen?
I'm doing great. I was really curious about how Tennessee is doing as they just deployed, I don't 7,000 troops to Israel to help on that front, and we had no idea what was going to happen here. So I'm really encouraged seeing how the communities are coming together and receiving these pallets of water. That's huge. And I just pray it keeps coming because when is this going to end? It's ridiculous.
There's a lot of things going on simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
It's overwhelming.
Right.
The nation is at a point of just being overwhelmed with so many important things going on at the same time.
Right. What is the name of that horrible something in Piven, Clouton Piven? It's a Marxist thing. It's overwhelming. That's what they want to do is overwhelm the system. And it looks like that's exactly what they did in Springfield, Ohio with the Haitians. And it's so frustrating. And I remember bringing up in a show, why don't they put them in Arkansas? Well, Hillary's and Bill are not in Arkansas right now. They're in New York, and I think that's already overwhelmed as it is. But isn't that what the whole Clinton Foundation was set up upon, the basis of Haiti when they had an earthquake in 2010? And that's
Right.
what's yeah, I wish they could call on those people to help with some of that money. But it's just devastation. I can't stand this. And this is an act of God. I mean, this isn't
And
some Go
and
ahead.
and
Hello?
and leadership, our
Right.
so-called leadership
Yeah.
is nowhere to be found. Nowhere. They're nowhere to be found trying to put an end to the wars that are about to pop off. They're nowhere to be found when it comes to the crisis that we're dealing with in the cities with these illegals. They're nowhere to be found when it comes to the destruction from these hurricanes. These people have totally been MIA on all of their responsible duties that they're supposed to uphold their oath to, which is keeping this country safe and secure and prospering. And it's almost like it's intentional.
No kidding. No
They're
kidding.
putting forth no effort.
So frustrating. We did see a really good clip this morning. Randy Rhodes had posted it. It was Donald Trump. You want to see a real leader? He was in his blue rain jacket and he was like up waist deep in the water, walking through it, trying to help people out of cars and passing out waters, picking up debris. And I thought, that's the kind of person we want. It's such a contrast. He doesn't, in my mind, he doesn't even have to campaign anymore. But Dingbat, she's like giving word salads and she can't answer a question, and that is by design. And the thing she is quoting is right out of the Marx playbook. And then you see Donald Trump helping people. I mean, walking in the water. You would never see Biden doing that. You would never see Kamala.
They'd have to go down and catch him down the river because he wouldn't be able to stand up.
True. Give him a rope, right?
Give
No.
him a rope.
So hold
Don't
on
let
to
him
shit.
drown.
Right.
It's
True.
crazy. I really don't know what to say. And this
You
is
know, I
all
think a
coming
lot
to
of
a
it's
head.
done intentionally, but most of it, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle it.
Well, I know I'm tired of my boy going to the store, coming home saying they out of shit. And it ain't gonna do nothing but get worse. And when I mean worse, we're gonna talk about it. But let's see what the hell's going on just a little bit.
To Jersey City, New Jersey, port workers already walking the picket lines early this Tuesday in a strike over wages and automation that could reignite inflation and cause shortages of goods if it goes on more than a few weeks. According to the Associated Press, the contract between the ports and about 45,000 members of the International Longshoremen's Association expired at midnight. And even though progress was reported in talks on Monday, the workers went on strike, as you're seeing right now. The strike affecting 36 ports is the first by the union since 1977.
Oof.
Joining us live this morning to further discuss breaking news alert is Jason Greer, founder and president of Greer Consulting Incorporated. Jason, good morning to you.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
So we are seeing this in real time. For many people, it takes them back to recent months where they saw the United Auto Workers strike, right? And we're seeing these
Right.
strikes in full display. Could you give us the background for those people that might not understand why this is even happening?
Perspective, because you can't consider the UAW strike, you can't consider the Boeing strike, because those are examples of recent strikes. We really have to look at what happened in 1977 when the Longshoremen Union went on strike. The difference being between that current Harold Daggett, who is the president of the Longshoremen, was a dock worker when that strike happened. So he has institutional knowledge and he's ready to go forward. What really this comes down to is the fact that you have the Longshoremen Union that has said, we are tired of not making enough money. They look at the shipping companies and how much money they made when they received COVID subsidies, and the union felt like they didn't receive any of the benefits. They're asking for a 77% wage increase, which are likely not going to get. But just to show you how serious this is, the Maritime Alliance just came forward at midnight and said, we're willing to give you a 50% wage increase. And the union still said no. So what we're going to start to see, we've already seen it, is that ports across the East Coast are going to be completely shut down. That means that products, goods, and services are not going to move in the way that should.
And that's the concern for many viewers this morning, Jason. You know, I've already gotten
Right.
some of the text chain messages, if you will,
Yes.
saying stock up on bleach, stock up on the toilet paper. And it puts you
Why
in that frame of
bleach?
mind of the pandemic, right? What we saw with COVID, when people were flocking to the grocery store, taking things in
Right.
bulk. And unfortunately, I think we will see that fear mongering and that bulk buying in coming weeks if we still see these strikes underway. The concern is that these strikes, if they do continue in the upcoming weeks, that it will cause a spike in inflation.
Parts.
Yep.
What you got on it, brother? What you got on it? Jen, have you had the pleasure of meeting Parts Man? Parts Man, if not, this is Jen homeschooling Mount Woodruff. Jen, this
Nice
is
to
Parts
meet you,
Man, my
sir.
brother from
Nice to
another
meet
mother.
you, Jen.
Hello.
All right.
Are
I
those car
understand
parts?
them wanting a little bit more money. I understand
Yeah,
them
car
wanting
parts. Parts
Okay, thank
Man.
you. Right, that's cool.
Parts Man, parts machine.
a little bit of every bit.
What you
I
got, Parts?
understand them wanting a little piece of pie because they had a union on the West Porch. They got a 33% raise. These guys didn't get anything. I get it, but not at this point in time. You know, there's a time and place for it. But really, I mean, if you think about it, with the kind of job that they do and we depend on them, really no time is a good time.
Oh,
But
true.
especially now is a bad time.
Holiday season. No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. How many kids are gonna? I don't know. It looks like it's not another cookie cutter Christmas. We're gonna have to start even Halloween. These kids are gonna have to go in their closets and wear their dad's hunting vest or something and say, "I'm dressing up as a hunter." You know, you can't buy.
Can we say Trump would have probably had both sides to the table by now?
Oh yeah, this would never have happened. Never.
He'd have flew in there and he'd have been there personally. It wouldn't have been no phone call.
Exactly. Exactly. See,
You know, and if they ignored him and tried to play stupid with him, he'd have just went ahead and he would have done that tariffs act.
Very good.
it's crazy, man. Everything happening at the same time, but not everybody's happy. Not everybody seems to be under the same umbrella, and this is why I say that. And then we'll wrap it up on this.
The top of the hour
This morning with a Fox 5 News alert. Thousands of dock workers are on strike, causing ports across the U.S. to close.
Yeah, in total, 36 ports shutting down, including the port of Baltimore. Melanie Allenwick is there right now live, and she appears to be telling us since this morning that it's been heating up there, and it hasn't been a pleasant sight for many folks, especially the drivers coming in.
That's right. So for some people, I think it might have been a bit of a surprise. However, this has been in the news that it could be happening for a few weeks now. So you can see the picket lines behind me here. And this is the main entrance to the Port of Baltimore, the Dundalk Terminal. And you'll see they're walking around the picket lines in circles. Now, Baltimore police were here earlier reminding the picketers that they cannot block the entrance to the port. The longshoremen walked off the job at 12:01 a.m. There was confusion and anger as picketers initially tried to stop trucks from entering, and it did turn violent.
I come here
Wow.
for 7 years. I pull the trash and the debris out of here for the Port of Baltimore, and the officer told me to come back and go in there to get out of my way, and they attacked me and broke the windshield and lacerated my face.
They didn't attack you for no reason, buddy. You gave them a reason. If you
No, he's trying. Hey, no, you got to understand. He's trying to break their line. These are truckers. These are people that still got shit to do. These are people that don't give a fuck. You standing in front of the gate and shit, and they got delivery. They don't care.
No, here's the thing. Did he say cops did it, or he said the union workers did it?
Union workers did it.
Oh, I thought he was a union worker, and the cops did that.
No, the police told him don't go down there, I think. Or something to that effect. But yeah, man, he tried to go across the line, man. These truckers, they still got deliveries to make, and he was probably one of those who thought he was just going to take his rig through the crowd, and they almost Reginald Denny'd his ass. I mean, it ain't funny, but this is what it creates, man. Chaos. Chaos creates chaos, and I don't see it getting no better. What do you say, Jen?
She's muted for some reason.
She muted herself.
Pardon me.
There you go.
Yeah, I've got a lot of kids. They're grown up, but they're just louder. So I had it on mute. I can't believe how first of all, how can the president? I mean, obviously Trump would had this like, no, you can't do that, not at this time, and he would have sealed the deal. I mean, he wrote the book, Art of the Deal. But reporters are asking Biden to step in and fix this, and the union workers are saying, stay the heck out. We are, this is our thing. We are in negotiations, and Biden won't touch it. Should he touch it? And if he does touch the situation, what should he do? How could he fix it? Trump wrote the Art of the Deal. He can make sides talk and have stuff happen. So I think anything Biden touches turns to crap, and that's probably why they're saying no. We're working on this. But how do you think this could end? How do you think, Parts Guy? Partsman? I'm sorry. How could Biden step in and lead or do anything? What do you think?
I mean, I think he could be at least doing some talking and encouraging them to get together and do something, or let them know, hey, if you don't, your local government, federal government, they have port authority over you, okay? We've given you guys a chance to take this care of. You knew this was coming on for the last 2 or 3 months. Let's get off our ass. Let's get this going because we have a country to take care of. And then if they don't, he shouldn't give a damn about their votes or whatever. He needs to sit down and he needs to say, either you have 1 week, okay, to get off your sissy pansy asses. You're asking for a 77% raise. Let's be real about this.
Right.
And if you don't, I'm going to control it myself. and then everybody's going to be pissed. But I'm not going to. I don't care. But at least our people in this country is going to be taken care of. I'm not going to let you do it to them.
That's good.
You're right. And
Grab his nads and say, "Okay, I'm doing this."
And
instead of saying, "No, we're not going to get involved. Screw you guys." No. Mm-mm. And that's exactly what Trump would do. Trump would have went in there and said, "Hey, okay, here, I get it. You're wanting a raise. I get it. You're saying you don't have the money to because of the taxes you're paying. I get it. You don't want to because whatever they get, you're going to have to pass on to everybody else. But you guys got to do something. And if you don't, you know I'm not going to play games with you because you ain't got it done with the minute that I tell you to. I'm signing those papers, and this port's going to start working."
Mir El-Ran is a senior researcher at the Institute of National Security Studies. Is joining us at Tel Aviv University. Is now joining us live from Tel Aviv. Dr. El-Ran, thank you very much for making time for us at this hour, and welcome. U.S. Secretary of Defense had warned of serious consequences for Iran if it attacks Israel or even exploits tensions. What consequences could that be?
Well, this means that we are not alone in this problem here. It means that the United States is standing up together with us against the Iranian attack, as they did back in April. And we're confident that also other local countries in the region will join in our defense against the Iranians. It is happening right now, so I don't have any details. But within a short time, probably we'll know more about how this whole thing evolves.
Doctor, let's talk about what is happening in Israel right now and in Lebanon. On one end, you have President Joe Biden repeating calls for a ceasefire in Lebanon as strikes continue. And on the other, you have Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continuing to issue threats that there is nowhere in the region that Israel can't reach. Who is the problem here?
This is the car insurance trick big companies don't want you to know about. Over 90% of what you pay for car insurance.
Well, the problem is that the Hezbollah and the Iranians, as their patrons, are keeping up their attacks against Israel. So that's not the time for a ceasefire. It's a time to respond to the challenges of Hezbollah and Iran. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. We are on the defense on one hand, trying to protect ourselves against the attacks of Hezbollah on one hand and Iran on the other hand. And on the other side, we are attacking them so as to make them understand that they have to stop it, and the sooner the better.
Doctor, this is developing story from Israel. We do understand that Israel is bracing for an attack from Iran. What if Iran does actually go through with a threat? What will happen? What are the consequences that we're talking about in West Asia?
Well, let me tell you this. We are just right now under a situation of alarms and sirens going on in Tel Aviv. And it all depends how this whole situation will develop. We just heard the major bombs right now very close to my place. And I think that it's time for us to stop this conversation because I have to be in the shelter. And thank you very much for the opportunity. Goodbye.
Yeah, that is Dr. Mir El-Ran, who's actually taking shelter because the attacks have already begun from Iran. As what you see on your screen are live shots of Israel. These are the missiles being sent from Iran. And as you can see, the Iron Dome system is sort of preventing the missiles from entering Tel Aviv. This is live in Tel Aviv, and we do understand that the missile attack has already begun. This was a threat that was issued by the United States, and now it has come to the fore. It is happening. We were talking to a guest earlier from Tel Aviv who had to cut short his interview and cut short this interview to take shelter. Also, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu did warn his citizens to brace for impact. And that impact is happening right now. What you see on your screen are live events. This is happening in Israel. Iran has attacked Israel. And we are about to get more information on what is really happening in Israel. We do understand that most Israelis have taken shelter as we speak. And as you can hear from the visuals on your screen, the air raid sirens have been sounded. Rockets from Iran have been fired towards Israel as we speak. People are taking shelter. People are taking shelter as we speak. And we do understand that 10 people have been injured already. This attack happened just 2 minutes ago.
What do you think, Jen, while I get to this live? They got live breaking footage that I'm going to get to real quick.
It's amazing. Thank God for that Iron Dome. And I loved hearing BB speak at the UN last week. He's tough. He's not going to roll over. So Schumer, oh, I could just wring his neck. You know what the name Schumer means? Good for nothing. It's a real word. Bottom feeder. It's terrible.
And right now, that is live in Israel tonight. I hope do anybody have any loved ones or friends that have taken any trips over there lately that live over there? Have you heard from them? Anybody? I haven't. Any
No.
church groups? I don't think any church groups going over there anytime soon. Look at that. It is amazing. I don't understand what we're dealing with. The world is on fire right now, and we can only sit back and wait.
Pardon me. Wait, what was up? Oh, pardon. Oh, sorry.
What happened? That's Israel tonight. The world is about to go up in smoke.
That's amazing. What's up with George Soros? Just to add more stress to the situation, he bought out 200 radio stations, so we can't talk to each other. Is that correct?
Yeah, I saw that. I think it was something like
That's what I'm hearing.
197 or something like that. It was close to 200.
Look, they're trying to wipe out communications. We're gonna be in trouble here.
Mm-hmm. Is that the October surprise?
I don't know,
These
but
sick
if
people.
he buys out all of them or most of them, they will censor everything.
He did that about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they will censor everything. So it is what it is. This is something we're gonna really have to try to navigate through. There's so many things going on at the same time. We have the floods here. We have Iran bombing Israel. We got we got we got the illegals here and the terrorists here. We got things here that we haven't even begun to confront yet, that haven't even hit us yet. So I don't know. Any last words on that note before I go and eat some lunch? We are completing an hour, and I appreciate both of you guys for joining in.
Yeah. Good.
Always a
Good.
pleasure to be with you, buddy.
Yeah, good footage.
Any last words, Jen?
No, keep your peace. Pray to God and stock up if you can. Rice, beans, water. I hate to say this last one, bandages and bullets.
There you go. Keep it real. Keep it real. Any last words, Parts of Man?
Yeah, let's just let's just at some point in time when you got a minute, you got a few minutes to step out and just think about things for a little bit. God's got this.
That's
He's
good.
got it. He I hate to say this, a lot of people no, I don't hate to say it. Unfortunately, we're feeling God's wrath right now. And if he hasn't opened people's eyes to get their attention, it's going to be their problem. God wants the glory. No matter what it is, things happen because God wants the glory for everything that takes place.
That's good.
He is a vengeful God. He's a wrathful God, but yes, he's still loving. But when he don't get what he wants, he gets angry. That's what's not preached anymore. These pastors in these churches, they got such congregations, they're afraid to step on their toes.
Right.
But people forget, our God's a jealous God. He don't like what's going on right now. He's going to get your attention one way or another. And things will go his way, whether you like it or not.
You are right.
So come November 5th, I deeply, for everything that's happened the last 4 years, everything that Trump has gone through, the way the man spirituality and his belief in God has changed so much. When he was in the last 4 years, you never hardly heard him speak of God. God had to teach him a lesson. He took him out of the White House and he says, I'm going to shake you up. I'm going to straighten you up. I'm going to show these people what happens when you have people in there that you're supposed to be in there, but you wouldn't keep your mouth shut. Now it's time. You're going to humble yourself, young man. I've got plans for you. And yes, it's going to make some people angry. People's going to hurt and people's going to suffer through this. But when I put you back in the office, you're going to do it for me, and I think you realize that now. You're going to praise me for it. We're going to have a revival. People are going to be going out in the streets, thanking God that Trump got in, that they can handle his mean tweets, and he don't put them out there anymore. God's changed this man. God's got plans for him, and when he comes back, it's going to be stronger. People are going to agree with me. They can laugh at me or whatever. But I've been telling my family and I've been telling my friends and everybody around me, you watch what happens. God's going to bring him back. God had to deal with Trump. God had to deal with this nation. He's opened a lot of people's eyes more than what you realize. There's great things coming. We just got to be a little bit more patient. God's got this under control. That's the way I feel about it. That's the reason I don't get nervous and you don't hear me out there go, oh God, you got to run to the store. This is going to happen. God's got this. He's got it. These people out there at the hurricane, God bless their hearts. And I pray for the families that lost families. And I know it's hard for them to stop and realize and stop and think. They'll be okay. They will be okay. Look how the communities have come together out in Tennessee. They're going to do the same thing in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
This had to happen for people to come together because this election was ripping us apart.
Good point. And I wanted to say there's only, going off what you said, there are only 2 countries in this world that were built and founded on God's word. That would be the United States of America. Well, yeah, 250 years ago, but still, and Israel.
And
And
why do you think I'm not really worried about Israel?
I know.
I'm
That's
not.
good.
I'm not
That's
worried
good.
about them. United States
Oh no, come back.
just they need to back off. They need to let him handle what he's going to do. Because
Mhm.
no matter what, whatever's intended for Israel and whatever God's plan is, there's nobody going to stop it. And God's not going to keep letting his people be treated the way they're being treated. So we
Okay.
might as well back off. It's good that we're there to back them. They don't need us. They do
Right.
not need us. That is his people. I got to stop or I'm going to get real religious and real biblical. I got to stop.
Oh,
You're
this
all
is
right,
good.
but we're about to land it anyway. I want to thank both of y'all for tuning in for today's
Okay.
afternoon conversation. But as we always do here at the lab, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Definitely ring that bell so you can get them instant notifications. So when I do come up, you are there. But in the meantime, in between time until next time, we're out. Peace and love. All right.
Nice meeting you, Jen.
You too. Nice to meet you. Thanks.